Seconds to go. Start. It is clear now that India is not going to harvest a bumper forget record wheat crop this time. The all-time high output estimate of 111.32 million tons metric ton was made by the Agriculture Ministry in mid-February when the crop looked good thanks to surplus rains and an extended winter. A marginal 0.8% acreage drop and initial availability issues in fertilizers notwithstanding, overall production prospects were bright till at least mid-March, but then came a sudden spike in temperatures and the mercury touching 40 degrees Celsius levels in most wheat growing areas before the month end. The early onset of summer with practically no spring impacted the crop at the time of grain filling. Day temperatures should ideally be in the early 30 degrees range during this dough stage when the wheat kernel is accumulating starch, protein and other dry matter. The heat stress post mid-March resulted in premature ripening and shriveling of grains. Most field reports point to yields being about a fifth lower compared to last year, even in Punjab and Haryana, where farmers mostly plant wheat before November 15. It could be worse in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, where sowing stretches till late December, making the crop still more vulnerable to the havoc wreaked by the hottest March in India's recorded history. That production may have taken a significant hit is also evidenced by official procurement numbers. Government agencies bought 43.34 metric ton of wheat last year. Available trends for the new marketing season suggest achieving 30 million metric ton to be a tall order, with some even pegging it at 25 metric ton. Together with 19 metric ton of opening stocks on April 1st, this can cover the 26 metric ton odd requirement of the public distribution system plus another 11 metric ton under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana free grain scheme that would leave year-end stocks at 7 to 12 metric ton, just around the buffer norm of 7.46 metric ton. If production and procurement do turn out much below expectations, there are two things the government can do. The first is cut wheat and correspondingly raise rice allocations under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana. Some additional wheat may in fact be necessary for undertaking open market sales, especially in the later half of the fiscal. The second thing is to be less gung-ho about exports. Yes, Indian wheat is highly competitive in the global market today, and there is scope to ship out maybe 10 metric ton in 2022-23 over and above the 7.85 metric ton last fiscal. But let these exports happen through the private trade in the natural course. The government must not push beyond a point, leave alone exporting from its stocks. The worst thing would be to talk about feeding the world today and then all of a sudden announce a ban on exports. Stop.